today. Oh yeah, hope on for tomorrow. Good enough today.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the Good Enough Today podcast, where we explore what it means to show up as you are, even when life gets messy. Today, I am talking with Isaac Rowe, an anger expert, a father, a man, a brother, a son, someone in our community that understands who he is and shows up authentically in all of the spaces that he's in. Isaac, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you? Thank you for having me on the show. I'm excited.
Oh
I'm
my
excited to
God.
be here. So yeah,
I tell you, like, we're work in progress over here.
yeah, yeah.
We're trying to work through it. How are you? Tell me how you are on a scale from 1 to 10. We're talking physically, emotionally, mentally. Give me some numbers for you today.
Physically, I'm about a 5. I think I need to lose by at least about 10 more pounds. Emotionally, I feel about an 8.
Okay,
You know,
this is good.
You said, and then which one?
Mentally.
Mentally, I'm about a 7.
Okay.
Yeah, about a 7.
Okay.
About a 7 on the mental. Yeah.
That's awesome, because I break it down to physically, emotionally, mentally, because I feel like we'll be like, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, what does that mean in real life? And so anytime somebody says something less than a 5, I'm like, okay, but let's look into it. What's going on with that 5? Because the goal is to be at a 5 at least, or is there something that you need to get you to that 5 for that day? So sometimes I just text my friends PM. What's your PM today? So that we can really check in instead of that superficial checking in.
Okay.
So tell me something that's giving you strength today.
Giving me strength
Yeah,
today.
just in general in your life, what is bringing you strength? Or lately, it can be recently.
That's a good question, because I think I'm in a interesting place of just like becoming who I want to be. And so what's giving me joy is that I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to really grow in which what I see and become whatever, especially what God has me to be, at that point. So
Ooh.
it's interesting. So that's what I think that's why it's kind of giving me joy. It's like I still have breath.
Yes.
I still have some life left,
Mhm.
and I don't know what tomorrow's not promised, but however, right now I'm going to be intentional with my time. I'm going to be as loving, as caring, and all those things I want to be, right?
Yes.
Versus being like, I'm upset because of this, upset because of that. I was like, I really want to stay in a place of peace and just centered. And so knowing that I get the opportunity to uh, have another day to go towards that, that really brings me joy.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, because I feel like anytime we're on a journey, we want to focus on the good, but what is hard for you right now on this journey?
It's hard. Oh man. Um, that's an interesting question, because I think the hardest thing I guess this is interesting because this is new today. This is new today. So you're getting fresh.
Fresh.
You're getting fresh,
This is
right?
awesome.
I'm gonna use this word, but it's grief.
Okay. Tell me
Right.
about it. Let's talk about it.
Grief of the man I was.
Ooh, yes, yes.
And trying to go into the man I want to be. And that's been difficult, because as you look in the mirror, you're trying to figure out who this person is.
Yes.
And even though you're grateful for, you becoming who this is, the thing is like, dang, I'm not that person anymore.
Okay,
And so it feels some type of way. And it's just a weird space to be in. And so you're conflicting, like, who you are, where you want to be, where you see yourself, and where are you currently. And so I was like, no, you're not that.
Yeah.
You're not that.
This is interesting, because this is the whole premise about Good Enough Today, right? Is that you compare yourself to your old self and to your new self.
Yeah.
And you're trying to get there, and you're fighting with, and I love the fact that you use the word grief, right?
Mhm.
Because there is a grieving process
Yeah.
that goes through. Like, I'm not the person. And sometimes it's so somebody says something crazy, and maybe you used to just hit them where it hurts real
Yeah.
quick, and you're like, I'm not that person. And there's grief in the fact that I let you slide, and it makes me feel
Yeah.
some type of
Yeah.
way, right? But even just, I used to be able to do this, and the person that I have to leave that behind in order to be the person that I want to be now.
Yeah.
And I don't think that we recognize how hard that is for everyone, right?
Mhm.
Because I see other people, I'll see you and be like, Isaac's doing it. He
Yeah.
got all this going on, he's doing it. I'm like, oh man, I wish I could do it so easily.
Yeah.
We don't see the pain that goes along with that, the hard part of that. So when you think about showing up authentically and being good enough at this moment, what does that look like for you right now?
Being good enough. Uh, Man, I think it's an ongoing journey or struggle, shall I say, of like, I mean, I'm always asking the questions like, am I good enough?
Hmm.
And you feel like all the things that you have been able to accomplish, and I would say I've accomplished some things. I get that, but I feel like I haven't accomplished anything,
Yes,
right?
yes,
And I'm just as like, well, all the effort and time and sacrifice and resources and energy that you put into some of the things, and how you're able to serve in that capacity.
hmm,
And as a servant leader, you're just like, dang, I poured all that in there.
yes,
I don't even have anything for me.
yes,
I don't have
yes,
anything for me. And
yes.
I'm looking back like, man, this is interesting.
Hmm.
Where am I at right now? And if I'm putting everything into this, why isn't it matching up with the money? Right.
Yes. Oh my
You know
gosh.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
Why isn't it matching
Yes.
up with the resources, the network, the
Yes.
people and the connections? And one of the things, honestly, and this is interesting to me, is that when you're in a certain position, it's leadership is lonely,
Yeah. Oh my
right?
gosh.
So leadership is lonely, and so you get to a place where everybody's expecting you to pour into their cup,
Yes.
and so if you're the one that's always pouring into other people's cups, and you're like, well, who's gonna pour into me? And then you're starving, trying to
Yes.
figure out like, hey,
Yes.
like anybody want to pour into me? Like, nah, we ain't got nothing.
That's not what we
That's
do.
not what we do. We get to
That's
come
not
take
what
from
we do.
you. And so, yeah, so I'm like, well, dang, am I not good enough?
Right. And I think that that's a great point, because I think as we go through like trying to create things for other people and trying
Mhm.
to serve people in any capacity, and I feel like that's in parenting, that's in everything that you do. There's an essence of this, right? Where it's like, I'm doing all of this because I want to do this for people. But do you actually let people in? Because let me just, I
Mhm.
am not a vulnerable person. I like,
We were doing
it,
that before
like
here,
I
though.
know, I know. This is how I got to take on
Okay,
vulnerability,
okay,
because
okay.
otherwise I'm gonna be in the corner, like just like I got to do this. This is
Yeah.
what I'm gonna do. You got to be strong, Shrema. Let's just go. And it's not even a strength of like I got to be a strong, independent woman. It's
Mhm.
more of a like you got to keep going. So there's no point in me burdening other people with this
Mm.
information, right? Because it's not going to change anything,
Yeah,
because it still got to get done, right?
yeah.
And so as we go through this part, like I, do you actually let people in and say, well, you know what? This is what I need. My therapist said, what do you need in the moment? And I'm like, I have zero idea. She like, you need a blanket? Do you need to lay down? Is it hunger? Like, what if you
Mm.
just stopped it for a moment and said, what do I actually need to comfort me and to feed me right now? What does that look like? Are you at a place where you can feel comfortable telling someone, hey, you know what, right this moment, this is what I need? Because it might not be to the level of what other people need at that
Mhm.
moment, but are you able to do that in the space of moving forward?
When you say that, my feeling, I'm always in need of $10,000. You know, you ask me, I'm always in the mood for 10,000. Let me
You
hold
know what?
10,000. Can I do that? You got that on you?
For sure. Like, subscribe, and make sure that if y'all have 10,000 for Isaac, he's a great man. He's got a great organization. Give that $10,000 to Isaac.
For real. Make it to Isaac Rowe, not anybody else.
Isaac
Like,
Rowe.
chicks on my name. It's nice it comes in the organization name.
But it's straight to Isaac for his personal goals.
But yeah, it's you know, I do have some folks that I can definitely say, you know, what I need. I can always say I'm hungry. That's for sure. Definitely. And I think I'm learning that where those spaces are and where those places are that I can kind of like really say what's on my mind and like, hey, this is what I'm really needing right now. And I think that comes with like some of that reflection time and just being alone, like what do you really need? But then someone actually being intentional about and checking on you to be like, hey, is there anything you need?
Yes.
Because most people don't check on you,
They
right?
don't.
And so you're just like, they think you're good. You know, I'm like,
because you hold it together so well.
Like, you know, I was like, yeah, but I didn't sleep in 2 days.
Yes, that's it. Yes.
I'm like, yeah, you see everything, but you don't know what happened. You don't know how to get to where that is or what it takes to be you, right?
Yes.
Right.
So I was talking to a pastor and he said, you know what that's called? I was like, what? You know, pastor's going to give you the pause, right? And like, let you try to tell me what it is. He's like, that's pride right there. He said, the fact that you won't let a person in as you're going through it is your pride saying, no, I got to do this on my own. And that's not how God works. And that's not how people work. And so you are an intentional person. So you'll recognize that, hey, this person needs my support right now. We're expecting that of other people. And so our pride won't be like, let me tell them I need this because I just got to keep going. And that's where I don't do vulnerability because I don't have time for that inefficiency, right? Like, that's inefficient. I don't, you know, it takes me, by the time I tell you we go through all of this, I've lost a few hours and we're just not getting to where we need to. But I wonder, like, as we move through this, if that loneliness of being at the top, I think there's always going to be, you're going to feel alone. I don't know if it's loneliness, but alone for sure, right? Where nobody understands the burden that you're carrying.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that that's something that's always going to be there. But then how do we explain to people when they see us as the people that have it together that we still need something? How would you do that?
How would I explain to them?
Yeah, like what's that look like? What's that look like for Isaac? Don't think I know.
Hey, I think what would you do? What would you say?
I created a podcast. That's what I did. I created a podcast because in my life, I don't know how to do that with normal people. Like, if we're not in this environment, I'm not going to be like, Isaac, hey, I'm not going to reach out to you and be like, you know what? Can we just go to lunch and talk about this? That's just not what I'm going to do. And, you know, I'm trying to move towards that. And I think that God has put me in a place to try to do that. And the only way I know how is to create a podcast. Like, let me make myself do this so that people can see how uncomfortable I am with this vulnerability, but also to see the struggle that it is to ask for help. Because I feel like whatever level you're on, if you are not eating it, like, this is the same, it feels the same, just at different levels of what people have going on. And so I don't know the answer, Isaac. We coming on here to try to figure it out together because, you know, I think that you compare, like, I should have it together. I should be able to do this. And since I have gone through this whole journey, it's been like, okay, but today, right now, you're good enough today. And to be able to take that and actually say, hey, you know what? This is what I need. And sometimes I don't know what I need. Like, I could be just saying like, hey, I'm not okay, but I don't know what it is, and maybe it is. We're just gonna break bread together and sit there and talk about nothing, and that might feed my spirit. But that's the hard part as a leader. Is like, and it's just a person. If you're the leader of your family, whatever it is, like, what's that? What does that look like? What do you tell a person? How do you say, hey, guess what? Nah, I really don't have it together. So that's kind of what we're searching for. But understanding that we are in different places, we do different things, but we're having the same conversation, right? Like the same conversations with ourselves. Nobody needs to hear that in order for me to keep going, right? I just keep it moving. But I really want people to understand that sometimes there's community in, or there is some kind of, there's something to it. I haven't figured it out yet. Talking about it with someone
Right.
else.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
so, in those moments when it's like I haven't slept for 2 days, I think we've all been in those moments. You just got to keep going. Why though do you? Because I can tell you why I do it, but why do you put your well-being and the things that you need behind other people? Like for me, I'll say I'll be all right. Right, I got this. Let me keep going. What about for you? What does that look like for you? Why do you think that your other people are more important than Isaac?
That's a good one. Man, you know, when I think back on this is random, but I always think about the boy I was growing up, and I realized like all the deficits and how the different things that the challenges that I had, and I just realized I just wanted somebody to help me,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody came to my rescue. And so now I'm like being the savior that I needed,
Yes.
the mentor that I needed, the
Yes.
father that I needed.
Mm-hmm.
Now I look at other people and they just don't know, right? That's like,
Yes.
well, I'm kind of like in that position where they just
Mm-hmm.
don't know. They just need help. I'll be
Mm-hmm.
all right. I'll be good because I have gone through so much,
Mm-hmm.
right? I always tell folks, that's like, there's a difference between poor and then the gutter,
Yes.
right? I
Yes.
said it's different.
Yes.
I said it's like you like street hood and then like poor and then like the gutter. I was like, you know what? I'm like the bottom where poor and hood type mentality kind of like point fun at the gutter, right? So it's just like I was like I've overcome a lot of things in my life. So for me to help and want to put that, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm really good because where I come from, hey, this ain't nothing.
Right.
Like this ain't nothing. This doesn't phase me. I'm gonna make it happen. What do you need?
Mm-hmm.
How may I be of service?
Yes.
And so, um, I guess having that root of that and knowing that, and now how I'm able to serve today, I kind of have that in my mind. I realize after going through the fire, after going through different challenges with doing that, is that I can only go so far without taking care of myself. And I didn't take care of myself. And then I allowed myself because I put other people's needs and other
Mm-hmm.
people's, what they would like, before mine. And I just basically was just deteriorating
Mm-hmm.
from the inside out, basically. Not only I was 320 pounds, right?
Okay.
320 pounds, and just I was like, I feel like I'm good. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I'm good. I'm doing things. Da 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 da. Uh, and anxiety attacks, panic attacks, trying to
Mm-hmm.
go to the hospital, trying to figure out what's going on. You're moving and you're doing so much. You're just doing a lot of different things, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like this is not healthy. You're
Right.
working like a dog. You're putting
Yes.
78 hours in a week or whatever. I was like, I'm not taking care of myself. I'm really like neglecting
Mm-hmm.
myself. And so now I have to ask myself, I was like, dang, how much do I love myself?
Oh my gosh. That question, because like I think I do,
Yeah,
right? Like if you ask me, of course, right?
yeah,
Unequivocally.
yeah,
But I don't treat myself like I treat people I love.
yes,
And so as you were talking, I was like, okay, I know what he's saying, but how do you love yourself in the way that you love other people? Because if you were somebody else, I'm looking at you like, oh, Isaac, I got you. But I don't turn and say, hey, Shrema, I got you. Let's take a moment and do what I would do for someone else in this situation for myself. And I don't know that I know how to do that. Like, I think it is ingrained in us somehow. And I think this also goes back to your point about the money not adding up to the sacrifice that you put
mhm,
in. I was just talking with someone about monetization. Like, I don't know how to monetize.
yeah,
I don't know how to I just give it away.
yeah,
I give it away
yeah,
because I want to help you.
yeah.
And so I did the shout out to Black X conference. I did the Black X conference and I spoke at that
Okay,
conference.
awesome.
And one of the ladies was like, I see you every year and I didn't know you were awesome. And I was like, I keep it that way. I like to keep a low profile. But she was like, you know what you should do? You should do a training and then people come do it. And I was like, for sure, I'll do that. Y'all just come do it. Then I was like, wait a minute. There's something here that I'm not getting because I know that I have something to give to people and I just give it away so freely, but I feel bad if I charge you for the thing that I can do so easily. And that's why I don't have my own law practice and all that other kind of stuff because I can't give it away for free.
We'll be a debt. We'll be a debt.
You're like, oh, you're making a whole lot of money. No, I'm not because I'm just helping you. That's not how it works. And so I wonder, do you have this? For me, it's a negative association with doing something and charging people that need the help, right? But I also feel bad for charging someone who needs the help but can pay for it because then I'm like, I'm giving it to you and you're not the person that needed the most, right? And so, do you navigate that same kind of?
Yeah. You in my little box now. This is where I'm shifting now. I don't give everything, and I realized I'm gonna have to come to a real come to Jesus moment.
Okay.
Because it's like I gave everything. I realized that you didn't um, appreciate my love, my care, the time that I put into that. You kind of stepped on it a little bit, like you really did, because you didn't know what the value was on that, and you didn't have no skin in the game. So for you, it was nothing, and it was given freely. And since you didn't know what it took for that to, happen or make that happen, how you're able to get that service, you were just like, all right, I'll see you later.
Yes.
And I'm over here sitting here like,
wait up.
So not only am I hungry, because I ain't getting no food, I ain't getting no bread, right? So I feel fulfilled in some way that you got what you needed because that was my heart's desire.
Yes.
However, in order for me to continue to do the work that I am doing and help those, I gotta let you understand that this is a value. I am valuable. And if I know that I'm valuable, I need you to know. Now, I ain't gonna hit you over the head with a bunch, but I am gonna place value on myself.
Yes.
And so, if I want others to, and this is get me because I want others to place value. I want people to place value on others too.
Yes.
So what am I doing? So am I leading by example?
Okay.
Am I not? So I'm like, well, I gotta lead by example. I gotta show like, hey, there's some value on that.
Yeah.
Just be okay. Hey, I can point you in the right direction. However, for this particular service, I can give you a little X1, little 5-minute, little such and such.
Yes.
But if you really want this, and this is what you want, I want to make sure this is what you is, and this is what you want, and we can make sure that value is exchanged, and for whatever service you have, and we can go about our day. And that's what we got to understand is like, okay, I am doing business, but it does take funds to be able to continue to do business and continue to help others that you want to help. Because if you imagine if you had the flow, you did have the money that you would like to have, would you have opened that school, right? Would you have done that? Would you have been able to do the things that you really wanted to go do to give in a major way that you really want? And it may be something you want to do, but I'm like, yeah, this is good. But if I had a little bit, I would definitely make sure that more, young folks would have more, get into college as far as like engineering. So I'm in engineering. So I would like see if there would be more into engineering and kind of get some more people of color in that industry. So that's something with my heart's desire, but I don't have any money to do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have Shaq money and stuff like that. But if I were to have that, then I would do that. I'll put somebody.
Well, let me ask you a question, because this is one of my fears, and I actually just realized this is one of the fears today, is that my fear is that I wouldn't be a good steward of the money, and not in the I'm going to spend it frivolously. I'm going to give it away before I can accumulate enough to actually have the larger impact. Because the moment I see the person that needs the help, I'm going to be like, well, I can put you through school. When I could save enough, or I can put it in a vehicle and do these
Right.
things.
Absolutely.
So what is your mindset around, like, if you had the money,
Mhm.
right? Do you feel like, and maybe this is your transition point, right? That you would be able to hold on enough to not just freely give away your services to a point where you'll be okay. You and your family are going to be okay, right?
Mhm.
And I kind of, to some degree, envy people who are able to be like, nah, I'm going to go me first and then you.
Mhm.
That's just not me generally. And so, how do you think you would navigate that stewardship of funds, being the person that you are or have been, right?
Mhm. Yeah, steward those funds. Definitely would take care of the things I need to take care of.
Hmm.
Definitely in the family and
Hmm.
those things like that. Definitely putting it in a vehicle if possible to be able to accumulate that.
Hmm.
I do understand. Like again, we go back to like the value. I got to place value on this, and I got to make sure that you're still getting the service.
Right.
I'm still helping you.
Hmm.
I'm still solving a problem. I'm still doing this. The thing is that there's some value on it. So when you go to others and you go at, again, and I say that because other people are eating food and going out buying drinks and buying bottles and whatever they're doing, new cars
Yes.
and all of that. I was like, and you place so much value that you're willing to play over asking price for your house
Yes.
that you can at least pay me the $5 that you know what I'm saying, for
Yes.
that, whatever it
Yes.
is, right?
Yes. Yes.
And so now being a good steward of that is just making sure, if not, I'll have somebody to be able to
Hmm.
steward over that as well. But definitely take care of everything I need to take care of. Make sure I understand the overall goal that I really want and
Hmm.
that vision and what I set out to do. It's like if I have X, Y, and Z, if I'm focusing on this, I'll be able to do this.
Yes.
Now, I mean, I could do five, but right now we're going to focus on one.
Yes.
And so it's not that I'm not working towards that, it's moving, but
Hmm.
this is when I can't just give it all away and just not have anything at the end of the day. I don't have any reserves. And if
Hmm.
there's any emergency that comes up, I'm not able to be like, hey, I got it.
Yes.
Especially when like family and stuff like that,
Yes.
that comes up, it's like it's different. Like your parents, mother passed away. I was like, well, I'm just like, I'm gonna pay for this, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like, well, you're lucky that you have it to
Yes.
be able to do is a blessing, but it hurt,
Yes. Yes.
but it's like,
Just
well,
really
what if I
gotta.
didn't have it? What if I gave it all away?
Yes. Yes.
And I wouldn't be able to do what I was able to do
Yes.
because of that. And so I was just grateful to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So,
So, I think it's interesting because as we go through our journeys, I call it going through the suck, right? I just call it the suck. Whatever the suck is for you sometimes, and I think it changes throughout your life, right? Financial, it's this, it's this. But like, what what did you do? Let's think about your lowest point.
mhm,
Whatever your lowest point is, and we can go into like a point when you didn't have it together, when you're not Isaac here right now talking about helping the people, when Isaac was Isaac coming up from the bottom, right? Um, or even Isaac now going through a struggle,
mhm,
right? And you're in that moment. I there have been moments where I'm like, well, God, if you wanted to just let me not be here, I'd be okay with it, right? Like I can't. I'm not gonna say what needs to happen, but if this was, I'm okay. What do you do to keep going, or what has kept you going when you're at that bottom point?
that's good. That's good. That's good. That's that first one. I don't have it all together.
Fair, fair.
I don't have it all together. The more you know about yourself, the more you realize you don't know a lot about yourself.
Mhm.
And for me in spiritual, it's like the more I know more about who I am, the more I realize about who God is, the more I know more about how God is, the more I don't know about who is. And
Yes.
so it gets bigger and bigger, and it's just like, wow, I didn't know that. And you said that the second one part was
I don't remember. No, no, no. But really, what kept you going? What
what
keeps you?
you
What
said.
keeps you going in the suck?
What
Like, and when
what
you're deep in it, what's the thing you tell yourself, or the thing you look at, or even like back in the day, right? Because you're not where you were.
Yeah.
What kept you moving forward?
back in the day, it was I just wanted to eat.
Mm-hmm.
I know that sounds like,
No.
but it's just like I wanted to eat whatever. Hence the 320 pounds. I wanted to eat, and then so growing up, I just didn't have that much food, or we didn't
Mm-hmm.
have the food that we wanted to eat. And I was like, I just want to make sure I make enough money so I can eat it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it's as simple as that. And it's like I want to make sure that my family's able to eat
Mm-hmm.
and eat nutritious food and
Mm-hmm.
eat what they want. These girls eat like salmon and rice and vegetables and fruit and all that. Most people don't have that in their
Yes.
thing where they can have pineapple, strawberries, all these fruits and papaya and all that.
Yes.
We just had apples or no apples, right?
Exactly.
And so I look at that. I remember my story. I remember that who the boy I was and where I've come from. And then today, just seeing my girls, just really seeing them thrive, seeing them just move and grow, and I get the opportunity to live that out every day.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't take it for granted. And so now I say I'm moving in different phases, but
Yes,
now
absolutely.
I'm enjoying presence of being,
Okay. Yeah.
like just being. And
Yes.
so I say I think I want more of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whatever I am being.
Yes.
And I'm like, I didn't know that was something that to really
Yes.
get me up in the day, like up
Mm-hmm.
in, I'm like, man, I'm just glad to be.
That the gratitude that comes with it. Just like, you know what? This right here in this moment.
Right here in this moment. I was like, I never thought. I was like, well, my bank account just went down over the night because there's Amazon and there's deals. It's
First of the month.
right, especially,
Yeah.
Anyway, and so it's just like, man, just to be, and I'm like, I have full of joy. I'm more full of joy, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
working towards that, being intentional with
Right.
that. But I didn't realize that is the place I really like. I like being in peace. I
Mm-hmm.
like being, and so that gets me through the day. It's like, man, as soon as this work is over, I just want to be.
That's it.
Just let me be.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm enjoying that. So that's really fresh. Like you're getting fresh,
This is
new stuff
yes.
in the past couple of weeks. I'm like, man, I'm really just enjoying
Just being.
just being. I ain't even got no food or
Yes,
nothing. I'm
yes.
just sitting here like
Okay, I'm glad you're saying this because I think that you said two things. One, you don't have it all together.
Yeah.
But you're enjoying just being.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you are the epitome of good enough today. I think
I appreciate that. I
where
appreciate that. I appreciate
where you don't. It's not about having it all together, right? It's just like, can you bottle up and maybe put to words, even though despite not having it together,
Mm-hmm.
how is it that you find the joy in being in present? Like,
Mm-hmm.
or how did you get to this spot? You said it's new. How did you get to this spot?
Oh man, that's good. She's peeling back layers on this thing today. She's peeling back layers. This is good. This is good. How did I get to this place? Realizing a lot. I need to slow my butt down. That was one of the things. I need to slow my butt down because a lot of things I wanted to do and I wasn't getting to the place I would like to go. I don't know if you ever realize, like when you're on a bicycle and you realize the chain ain't as tight,
Yes.
and so you end up like getting on the chain and you
Just-
hit and you bust your knees a little bit. Versus those of you, everybody games now. So I don't know if anybody ride bikes anymore. But
our listeners have ridden a bike, I'm sure of.
some people, and some people haven't ridden a bike.
That's true.
They just, or the bikes back in the day when we had ramps and all that kind of
Yes.
stuff. So, and it's just like I want to go forward, but I'm not going. I keep hitting and keep getting hurt.
Mhm.
After all, I just want to drop that bike,
Yes.
because this ain't the chain ain't on there. So, I just realized I have to figure out about my life on like what I really want.
Mhm.
Who am I? Who am I really? And what do I like doing? What do I like? How do I like being in my space right
Mhm.
now, regardless of however I feel? Like,
Mhm.
how do you want to feel? And I started asking a lot of reflective questions, and it's like, I think this is where I'm gonna try this.
Mhm.
Let me try this. I really like this,
Right.
and let me stay in that moment and be in that moment, and let me see what that goes like, how
Yeah.
that works. Does my behavior change?
Right.
Does my interactions with people do they see a difference? Like, dang, I don't know. Usually you wouldn't react that way. Usually like
Mm-hmm.
that. I was like, I don't know either.
Right.
Right? I don't know either. But take it as you
Yeah,
go.
we just
Take
go
it.
with
You
we
know,
just
don't go all into it down and stir up nothing.
yeah,
Just keep it where we're
let's
at.
just
Where
say
we at. But I think over that period of time and the reflective period, going outside, one of the things that really helped was the 75 hard.
oh, you
On
did the
a, I
75
did
hard?
75 hard, right?
Oh, listen.
It's no joke. You done it?
No.
When you do
No, sir.
75
That's crazy.
75 hard, definitely opened my eyes. It was a lot of discipline, but it was a mental toughness more since it's like a fitness thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to like organize me. I
Mm-hmm.
had to get me together. I had to do 2 workouts, one
Yes.
in the one outside,
Yeah.
one whatever.
Yeah.
And so, but one has to be outside. And I had to enjoy nature. I had to get outside. I had to do something outdoors. I had to stick to my diet. I had to take a photo of myself changing.
Oh, I hate that.
That's the hard part. I think that's the hardest part right there.
Hate it.
And consistently, like this angle's not good, right? And just doing that and then reading. I had to read 10 pages or whatever, and I'm just reading books. I'm like, I know I read, but then now I'm like, I'm consistent.
Yes.
So I'm consistent now. Like I have to read. I can't just
Yes.
stop. Like, no, I have to finish all the pages
Yes.
and then go what I need to do. And that was the most productive time for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yet I had less time. Right? So you're looking at like 2.5 hours maybe of your day
Yes.
that's gone, but yet I was the most productive.
Mm-hmm.
And so I realized from those different moments, and there's been like different points that led me to that. I really like just
Yeah.
so
Okay.
it was a journey.
You said something important there, and I've been playing with the concept of consistency,
Mhm.
right? And I can't determine, and maybe somebody out there will know, and maybe you'll know, consistency and discipline, right?
Mhm.
People say that you need the discipline to keep going. I don't know if it's discipline or if it's just a commitment. Maybe the discipline is the commitment to being
Mhm.
consistent, because I feel like consistency is how you change your life. And the reason why we don't remain consistent is because it's hard, right?
Mhm.
Like the 75 hard, heavy on the hard, right?
Heavy on the heart.
Heavy on the hard. And so that consistency, I want you to think back to like different transitions in your life. What has been the role of consistency in those transitions? Like, has there been something where you're like, no, I got to do this every day? If it's smaller or big, what role has consistency played?
Consistency has played I feel like I died to my consistency.
Hmm.
I don't know if that's because sometimes consistency can hurt and
Hmm.
be a detriment, I guess, to yourself, and
Yeah.
and being consistent can get you in a place where people don't like you.
Hmm.
Because you achieve more than others or you do more than
Hmm.
others. And it kind of looks like you're hungry for more.
Yeah.
Um, and so sometimes people don't want to be around you
Yeah.
because they don't have the luxury or the opportunity to slack off,
Hmm.
right? And so it's like, well, I don't have. I was like, no, but when someone that's consistent
Yeah.
through everything, then you're like, I can't be around you. You that type of person, and
Yes.
so nobody really will hang around you if you're like that, and you're gonna
Hmm.
give it your all at
Hmm.
all costs.
Yes.
And that's the thing, at all costs. I think there's a little bit of grace in there, being consistent, but having a nice flow for that,
Hmm.
because it can get a little bit like too much. Like you gotta rest.
Yes.
You put that in there as consistent rest.
Yes.
Put that in there. It's not
Hmm.
all gas, no brakes, no pause. When I'm learning about the sacred pause,
Yes.
and we're just like, no, you better respect this sacred pause. This is ancestral right here, right?
Yes.
And so yeah, that's what I was about.
Okay, so I called you an anger expert at the beginning of the podcast, and we opened up. I do want to talk about anger, but before we get to anger, I want to talk about fear.
Mm,
And what role fear plays as you move forward in your journey of transitioning to the Isaac that we see, right? And so our tagline
mhm,
is hopeful for tomorrow, good enough today, because we hope to get there. But
right.
right now,
Hmm.
I'm doing the good enough, I'm doing the work, right? And sometimes the work looks different. But how do you get past fear when you're transitioning to a new phase?
You just catching me in these moments. That's good. It's good. Fear whispers all the time.
Mhm.
Fear whispers all the time. Your insecurities, your little imposter syndrome that you have, whatever doubt, your shame, whatever that is, it whispers. And the thing is, it's like, I acknowledge that you're there,
Mhm.
but you ain't gonna punk me,
I hear you.
right? I know, and
Mhm.
that's what it comes like. You're not gonna punk me. It's like when you put out something, it's like, well, will they like when I launch it?
Yes.
When I do that, does it really matter? You
Yeah.
don't like me anyway,
Right.
right? You really
Yes.
don't like me. You know what I'm saying? You don't check on me, so you really don't like me. You ain't
Yes.
give me no 10K. You ain't
Yes.
just slapping it.
Yeah.
So at some point, I gotta be like,
Mhm.
fear. Okay, I acknowledge you that you exist. That's a
Mhm.
part of my human experience.
Mhm.
However, I got something I said I wanted to do,
And keep doing it.
and keep doing it. Because this is what I said I wanted to do. And
Mhm.
I got to be careful about how I treat myself, what I say to myself.
Ooh. Yeah.
And if this is what I said, what I told myself, it's not lying to myself.
Yes.
So I got to be careful what I'm saying.
Mhm.
So, and we always talk about life and death is the power of the tongue. But the thing is like, dang, I want to give life, right?
Yeah.
So let me do it while I do have breath.
Yeah. So that's so interesting because, and I just said I'm gonna go back to anger. I am gonna get to anger. I
You don't have
promise.
to.
I
You don't
know
have
we
to.
gotta touch on it because I feel like it's a powerful emotion, and a lot of us only know a few of them, right? Happiness, anger, and maybe sadness, right? And so I want to touch on anger, but I also want to talk about, have you always been able to put that fear to the side and move forward? Has that grown as you've grown as a man?
Oh, it has grown.
Hmm.
It definitely has grown. I remember someone said, "It's like, hey, would you?" Because I'm an introvert,
Oh, me too.
so
And here we are.
here we are. Yeah, it's like, would you have $1 million or be laughed at?
Ooh. Ew.
Like embarrassed, like laughed at.
No, I listen.
See, I said
Ooh.
$1 million, but why am I pausing?
Yes.
Most people, I don't care. I don't, $1 million. I'm like, let me think about that.
Yeah.
Because the
Oh.
pain of that is almost like death,
Yes.
right? So the pain of being left, I was like, "Hey, why is this so such a stumbling block?"
Yes.
Their opinion matters so much in my life that I am
Hmm.
willing to give up $1 million. That what that $1 million can do
Yeah.
to just the mental of that, right? Just the
Yes.
dang. You mean to tell me that being laughed at has more power
Then.
than receiving $1 million that can probably change your whole, your family,
Yeah.
you pay off some debt, student loan, whatever it is, and you can probably sleep better at night.
Yes.
But you don't want to be laughed at. So that was a wake up call because I had to check myself. I'm like, dang, I really am, I really just experiencing this and realize that this has power over me.
Hmm.
And I don't want that. And I don't
Yes.
like that. And I'm about to do something about that. I was like, does it really have power over me? That's just all thought.
Right.
It's all in my mind or what I think. I was like, that was nothing. Some people laugh at you and you didn't get paid,
Right.
right? You
Right.
didn't even get paid. They're
Right.
laughing at you. And that's just somebody, no, what is that's what I say? Someone's opinion of you doesn't have to become your idol at the end of the
Yes.
day. So I'm like, oh, so that was like pre-man and me,
Yes.
right? Pre-organization. So you think about it's like, dang, you know what? I'm gonna have to go because I said what I wanted to do.
Yes.
And so I'll have to be laughed at. I'm gonna have to
Ooh.
develop thick skin and people might not like me. And people, it's okay. And I'll be like, I don't want that. It feels uncomfortable. I don't
Very
like it.
uncomfortable. Very
I don't
uncomfortable.
like it. But however, you kind of get used to it in a sense and you realize like you have a lot of grace for people
Hmm.
and you work with people but then you like just have a lot of grace for them. It's like they just really don't know. The more you know, you'd be like, you
Yeah.
really don't know. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Hmm.
You're in a place and I understand if you're hurting, if there's something going on and you really don't understand what this is right now,
Hmm.
I understand. It's okay to laugh. Maybe you need it more than me,
Yes.
right? Maybe you need to laugh.
Yes.
Maybe this will help your day. And you're like,
Hmm.
dang, I don't like being laughed at, but or being the laughing stock,
Yeah.
but I think I'll be okay.
Mhm.
I'm not hurting,
Yeah.
I'm not in pain. So I'm like,
Mhm.
I think I'll be okay.
Well, see, now let me tell you, because maybe you've grown more than I have, because I will feel like that in the moment. Then later, I'll be like, I should have just punched him in the face. Like,
Yeah.
like, I don't think I would actually, right? But
Sign up
if
for my anger management class. No,
exactly, but
sign
you
up.
know
I'll play some
what?
value on mine.
Yeah.
Just to let you
Play
know.
this thing real quick. Get in here, but I think that and that's where I think that it comes into the conflict between who I am now.
Mhm.
Because it'd be like, well, did you just punch me? Like,
Yeah.
and you punked me,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be okay with it because I'm comfortable in this space.
Mhm.
But for a second, I'm always like, I could have punched him in the face. So, and
Yeah.
I think that there's this conflict, right? And I think that people think that we're bigger than that. And yes, of course, because you have more to lose.
Mhm.
But I don't think that those thoughts leave, right? The fact that, like, I know you punking me right now, and I just have to be bigger than that because I have a goal
Yeah.
and I have made a promise to other people and to myself, and I've got to move forward towards that. And I think that people think that as you're doing this, we're going to talk about man to me because I think it's amazing. And anger because I still haven't forgot. Don't you're not getting off, of this, right? But and this punch people in the face goes straight into anger, but it really is. I think it's an everyday journey,
Mhm.
right? Because I tell people, right, if you find me on the good day when I've slept well and I've eaten and I am rolling on all cylinders, I might react differently
Mhm.
than if you catch me on a day when I haven't slept well. I'm a little hungry
Yeah.
and I'm not, and people in traffic have been a little crazy and I don't even get road rage. It's just been a difficult day.
Mhm.
The way I react is going to be different because, and I have to be able to recognize where I am in
Yeah.
that space, right? And so I wonder, and this is a great segue into your experience with anger
Mhm.
and those feelings too. So, do you still feel those emotions as you go through this? How does that work for you right
Oh yeah, I still feel the emotions.
now?
You know, still feel those emotions. I kind of recognize my triggers.
Mhm.
That's one of the things. That's like the early on. It's a
Yes.
journey, but you recognize your triggers. Like, hey, maybe I should do this. I should go work out. I know
Mhm.
working like that is making me irritable, and I didn't go to the gym. I didn't go
Mhm.
outside to walk. I didn't create my day how I wanted to create.
Yes.
I didn't get enough food. I waited too late. I'm eating a bowl of cereal
Yes.
at 11 o'clock at night, trying to be like, you supposed to go to bed. You're supposed to be in bed already, but you
Yes.
eating a bowl of cereal.
Yes.
And this is not what it was supposed to do. This is not going to our goals right now. And so all these things like because you did that, and it's
Mhm.
still you getting angry because you're just doing it. Dang, wake up and the scale and went up, right?
Yes.
So these all these
Oh,
things, you're like
yes.
now you're upset again. It carried on from one day to the next.
Yes.
And so just being mindful of my triggers and knowing like, hey, I got to put this through through these filters. Like,
Mhm.
hey, is it really important right now? Do I have to address that? I understand that is a little trigger, especially when you bring up this, or especially when you bring up
Mhm.
that. So I know that okay, you don't really know that can knock you out. Okay, you really
Yes.
don't know that. Bless your heart.
Yes.
X, Y, Z.
Yes.
All right. What else we got? And I'll take my mind out of it
Yes.
because I gotta like take my emotions out of it and be like, let me come back to self
Yes.
and then let me realize it's like, hey, they're just having a rough day, just like
Mhm.
most of us. Nobody
Right.
want to be in traffic. Nobody don't want to be in there. I don't think
Yes.
anybody wants to be in traffic, right?
Right.
That's why I work remote. That was literally why, right? And so it's just understanding who you are, and I think that's a journey. And we're all learning who we
Mhm.
are, and I think over time, I think I wrote my book like 10 years ago.
Mhm.
But even if like for what really helped me was just writing out my thoughts, like what I'm angry about and all that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. That really helped. So I turned into that book. Um, but you still have those whispers again about like, oh, I would have did this, I would have did
Mhm.
that. It gets less and less when you practice, and you got to be intentional with that
Mhm.
because I always talk about in my book. I talk about the God of anger. I was the God of anger.
Yeah.
I said your anger don't compare to mine.
Wow.
I lift
Ooh.
mountains with mine.
Ooh.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
powerful.
You know, so for me, get the book.
Yes,
So
yes.
for me,
Where
it's
can we find that book?
Amazon. You can
Okay.
go to Amazon,
Okay.
definitely. Oh, you can go to ilovebanger.com too as
Mhm.
well. Um, and realize it's like now, like I'm trying to get angry.
Mhm.
I can't get as angry as I would. I don't know if
Mhm.
that's age or what that is,
Mhm.
but I'm not as angry because I have a lot more love for myself. I have a
Mhm.
lot more love just for life itself.
Mhm.
And the more I understand people are still on their journey as well, I just give a lot of grace and mercy in
Mhm.
that, as though other people gave me grace and mercy
Mhm.
too as well. And I just like, okay. Now doesn't mean they're deliberately doing something
That's
intentional. I'm
different.
not gonna get upset now. I'm saying that those things that usually are irritating or
Mhm.
just like the other things that used to bother me no longer bother me. And
Yes.
so I'm just like, and I don't know if you can handle that.
Yes.
If I let that out,
Oh goodness.
I think it would be like an earthquake
Yes.
and a typhoon and a hurricane, all
Yeah.
that all in one.
Yeah.
And I said that damage control, I don't know if I can fix
Yes.
or repair. I don't have the
Mhm.
money, first of all,
Yes. Yes.
to repair all that.
Uh-huh.
And so I don't know if I can repair all that if
Mhm.
that were to let that out.
Right.
So I got to be intentional about how I need to address you, how I need to move with that,
Mhm.
how I need to move to myself. I'm angry at myself. I used to punch walls,
Mhm.
right? So you'd be like, why are you just punching brick walls? It's
Yeah.
like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I didn't hit you,
Right. Right.
you know, and I don't hit walls anymore, by the way.
I think that's healthy. I'm glad. I'm glad you made that transition. I feel like that's a healthy transition.
That's a healthy transition. I hope that a little anger management session, but things will always come up.
Mhm.
Life will happen. And it's just like how you respond to life. How do you
Mhm.
want to respond to life? Respond angrily and just upset that
Mhm.
you spend all that money and you didn't know. I don't know if y'all. I was so upset. I lost all my money in crypto. Not all my money. Let's
But
be specific. But I lost some money in
yes,
crypto, right? You're like, oh
yes,
yeah, we're gonna do that. I was like, oh, it's gone
yeah. Got quick.
quick. I was like,
I,
I was making, and it was gone. And I was like,
ooh, yes,
it's not called.
yes. The way
Yeah, it's
it
not time.
hurts.
Okay. And so for that, I can't go into that because I
Yeah.
was really upset. But I was
Mhm.
like, I made that. I made that choice.
Yes.
I made the choice to do that. It is what it is. It's just money.
Right.
At least I'm gonna tell myself that.
Right. Right. Right.
And let me be okay with that.
So, are you actually feeling angry now? Because I'm not. This is another thing I'm not good at. I don't know why. This is just podcast is supposed to be vulnerable. I'm not good at necessarily feeling the emotion. I can acknowledge that it's there
Mm-hmm.
and I'll say, oh, that's sad. Right. But actually sitting in it and being like, nah, you're sad right now. So you're angry right now. How do you feel anger now? Like maybe not in the same way, obviously, right? But how do you feel the anger and then move past
Yeah, I feel all emotions.
it?
I was like, but don't just block
Right.
like your human experience. I
Hmm.
think that you should definitely, it's a natural. It's, all those emotions are completely normal and natural. I think when it overtakes you, when you can't control it, it gets to a place where you can't handle that rage, right? What becomes
Right.
uncontrollable is rage. But you should be able to feel like what you feel. You should be able to feel grief and
Hmm.
what that looks like, and you should be able to be grateful. Be thankful. You should be able to be sad. It's nothing wrong with being sad and just sitting like, hey, okay, that's not good. How much time do you need?
Right.
Regulate. Well, how much time do you need? I don't know. Well, you think if you have a loved one that passed away, how much time do you need? I don't know how
Yes.
much time I need, but it's gonna be a journey, right? I
Yeah.
guess it depends on who that is, and you
Right.
just like, I'm gonna work. I'm gonna move with all these mixed emotions. I'm gonna move forward, and I gotta, I choose to move forward. And I think sometimes we don't choose to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
We choose to be in. We want it to like basically numb our pain, or
Yeah.
we want it to like go away, and that's where you kind of
Mm-hmm.
get like substances and other things of
Mm-hmm.
that nature, which don't work. But a headache, hangover, whatever
Yeah.
the case may be, and
Mm-hmm.
then an outlook, a fit. Anyway, and it's definitely a journey.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a journey. So.
Okay, so let's talk about Man and Me.
Mhm.
Why? Why'd you start Man and Me?
You know
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what
Man,
Man and
I'm trying to
Me
figure
is.
out why now. Hey, I'm gonna go back. I'm in a crossroads right now.
Okay.
Why did I do
Yeah,
that?
let's talk about
Why
it a little
did I do? You know what I'm
bit.
saying? You know what? Mm.
I think we
It
all
would
go
be
through that.
nice I can get back all the pieces of me.
Mm-hmm.
That would be nice. But yeah, the man in me, we educate and then support fathers and father figures. And so one of the things we get to help men see who they are, um, for themselves, what type of man they want to be, what type of father they want to be, what type of husband they want to be, what type of friend they want to be. And we get to provide those safe spaces for men to be able to be open, to be vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
um, and uh, have them grow in whatever way they would, like to grow. And so starting that, and I think I got the vision in 2009. That was a long time
Mm-hmm.
ago,
Was
by
at
the
this
way.
point, yeah.
I'm young, by the way. I just look like this.
You look good, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
Let's not come on
You
now.
know, I was 19. I was 19, and no, not really, but let me say that's what I'm going with. But 2000, I'll say 2009, yeah,
Mhm.
2009, and then we launched in 2012. So been about 13 years
Mhm.
in that, about 15 total. And realizing that um, when you get a call in your life that says something that you're inadequate, or you feel inadequate, or you feel like this is not me, this is not, I don't know what this is, and you're trying
Mhm.
to figure out what do you do? Do you accept it, or do
Ooh.
you just put it to the side, close the book, and be like, that's not me,
Mhm.
that's not where I'm at. And so I accepted that there was some need that needed to happen, and someone who's going to do it. And so I accepted that uh, I was curious on why fathers weren't present in the lives of their children.
Mhm.
And so I was like, why? That
Mhm.
was a curiosity. I've always been
Yeah.
curious, but I was like, why? What's going on? What's going on with the man? I was like, he just had no money, or what? Like,
Yeah.
we were just didn't felt inadequate, or was it gatekeeping because of the mother, or like what was it? Do they even know they even have a kid?
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
What is it? Is it a legal thing or abusive thing, or what type of thing, what situation is it? And I was like just curious. I'm like, but these are beautiful babies. I
Mhm.
mean, people would love to have babies. People
Right.
spend millions of dollars
To have
to
babies.
have babies,
Yeah.
and yet you got one right here, and this is how you treat.
Mhm.
So what
Mhm.
what what made you think that it was okay, or
Yeah.
you thought that it was just better off that you weren't
Mhm.
around and you weren't present? And so that curiosity came, and then I was just like, well, somebody has to do
Right.
something. And then went ahead and jumped on in a pool, knowing I can't swim,
Yes.
and went in and started doing that. So, and we've been able to change the lives of fathers all around, pretty much in the Central Texas area. So I'm really excited about that work. So touching families, and so.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think that one thing that you said is that you had a curiosity instead
Mhm.
of judgment. You led with
Yeah,
curiosity, and I think that, are you like that just generally? Is that
I'm
something?
generally like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that from what I've seen, most people who have a call to action, like, well, I wanted to know,
yeah, I want to know.
and the only way to figure it out, I could ask somebody else, but they're not giving me the answer, so now I got to
Yeah.
do something, right? Um, in your work with fathers and men, what's the most rewarding part of
Most rewarding part? There's a lot,
it?
actually.
Hmm.
When I see a father that takes that full role and responsibility and
Mhm.
ownership and accountability for not only the things that he has done, but the things that he is doing. And you can see it play out in the family. You can
Mhm.
see how there's it's very intentional. You can
Mhm.
see that it's just like I don't need somebody to tell me that I need that. I get to do that,
Mhm.
right? And so it becomes when you get to see um, them become who like find out who they are,
Yes.
right? And they're just
Mhm.
like, man, this is me.
Right.
And like light bulb went off. You're like, man, it's like, well, nobody got the I never had anybody pour into me
Right.
before, right? And I
Yes.
wasn't in the right place or space
Mhm.
to be able to receive that either.
Yes.
That
Yes.
safe,
Yes.
loving environment, right?
Yes.
To be able to receive that. And
Mhm.
so you think about over time, it's like, no, these brothers really care.
Yeah.
Like, really? You mean it's okay?
Mhm.
You mean I could sit up, I can take my shoes off, I could, I could do that? And
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, you're good.
Mhm.
You're good. We got food, what you need. You're just
Mhm.
sitting here like, okay. And so now I get to take off my cape, whatever's left of it, and sit down and be like, okay, let me heal. Let
Mhm.
me figure out what I need to do. Let me dissect it. Let me
Mhm.
receive whatever I need to receive. And so I really enjoy seeing that light bulb off, and then like
Mhm.
I love that.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
nice.
that.
That's pretty dope. That's
Yeah.
pretty dope. So we've pulled back a lot of layers of Isaac. So what does it look like for you to show up authentically today? What does that look like?
Showing up authentically.
Mhm.
Um, Today. That's good.
Today. Yeah.
Today is
Mhm.
being still, being in the moment,
Mhm.
being present, um, being intentional, um, standing in and like in and of authority,
Uh-huh. Yes, okay.
right? Um, and knowing that I am enough.
Mhm.
I am enough.
Yeah.
Not believing, not believing. Uh, Authentically, for me, I was like, oh, I know. You see the whispers of that fear we talked about,
Yeah.
but like, nah, no matter I hate to tell you.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you. I hate to burst your bubble, but I know that I am worthy,
Yes.
I am valued,
Mhm.
I am loved, and I am
Mhm.
enough. And it's okay.
Yeah. Okay, so if you were talking to someone who's struggling today, right?
Mhm.
What would you tell them? What would you tell them to start? What would be the thing that you would give them?
Mm. What would I give them? What are they struggling with?
Ooh, just in general, because we okay. Let's do it. Let's do a few things. They're struggling with parenting right now.
Hmm.
What would you tell
Um, Save for your retirement and make sure those kids don't run you out that house because they're gonna
them?
leave.
They gonna leave.
Don't worry about it. They're gonna leave. I think that's always like a funny one, right? It's like them kids gonna leave, right?
They gonna
And like
leave.
they're gonna leave
That
one
is
day, and you're
fair.
gonna be sitting there, and you're gonna be missing them. So at the end of the day, let's love on them while they're here, and they ain't been on this earth that long.
They really just don't
They
know.
really don't know.
And
So
we were dumb too. Like
yeah,
that, yeah, I think that's part of it.
yeah.
Okay, if they're struggling financially.
Financially,
Mhm.
oh, that's a big one in climate today.
Mhm.
Climate
Mhm.
today, because everybody's losing jobs or being
Yes.
replaced by jobs and
Mhm.
different things like that. Um, I'm realizing just find your rhythm of how you move and govern your life.
Mhm.
um, be open to ideas and concepts and different ways of how you can take care of your family and finances and take care of the finances because you don't know how it's going to come. You don't know what it is, but you have a need for something. Now realizing that when you start speaking, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that and believe that and know that. Sometimes it's just things just kind of pop up and appear, or sometimes go away.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
you know what I'm saying. So it's interesting on how that sounds when you're going through, like, I gotta pay for this. At
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, if I don't have it, I don't have it.
Yes.
And so there's nothing I can do about that. But I do want to make sure that I be intentional. If I want finances, I want to, try to increase. What can I do? What skill can I, add? How much more value in that workplace or in that
Mm-hmm.
vocation that I can add to be able to, level up to be able to be attractive, to get some more finances or leverage your business or do what you need to do. Doesn't mean go out there and take out more debt, because that creates a more stress on you. So that's not what you want to do.
Yes.
If you have no money, that's good. You can use your credit cards, if you got to use it.
Yes.
However, if it goes with the interest rates, I don't know if y'all, and it starts
Yes.
calculating
Ooh.
$150 a month.
Yes.
It's just, I was
And
like, well,
25 go towards the principal.
yeah.
Right? Yes.
So you're just like, no, that's not what I want. I don't want to create more,
Mm-hmm.
just craziness and just frustration and anxiety. And so I think it's just being open and just having that hand open in the sense,
Yeah.
right? I know that we're giving,
Right.
I know that we're ready to receive too.
Mm-hmm.
And those things will come into play when you're around different people who see what's going on. And you position yourself, and it'll definitely shift. It'll
Right.
definitely shift.
Okay.
Yeah, in their finances
So what would you say to someone who's struggling in their relationship with their partner?
with their partner.
Mm-hmm.
Um, don't get in relationships. Um, don't get into relationships. No, I'll play. Uh, you know, I think one of the things about relationships that we are, if it's in the how I say, man, they got multiple now. I don't know what the word be at now. But if it's just between two people,
Yes, two people.
right?
We
Not where you got this and this and
Yeah,
this
we
and that.
got to
Like, just
two
two
people.
people. Well, we want to be able to say, hey, always check yourself out. Do an assessment, do an inventory of what's going on with you. Because sometimes it's really you,
Mm-hmm.
and how you see it or how you think about certain things, and understand that that person is a different person coming from a different background, from a different perspective, and their lens and their filter and the way they see the world is different than
Mm-hmm.
yours. It's okay, right? It's okay. And so now, look, you just got to realize, like, is this the person that I choose to be with?
Yeah.
Is this the person I choose to love? If that is, then we're going to continue to work. Now, it has to be reciprocal on that back end too,
Yes.
as well, because they can just not love you. You can make a decision
Mm-hmm.
whether or not you can continue to move forward into that relationship. But understand that relationship is probably one of the hardest things to really do,
Yeah.
because you got to communicate, you got to
Yes.
talk, you got to do a lot of things that I just like. If you don't have the energy and the work ethic to really put forth that effort, you can be like, oh, I just love. Love is not where we at
That's
right
not
now.
it. That's
That's
not
not
it.
it. No, we're talking about this is work. I gotta listen to you,
Mm-hmm.
understand that I may not need to fix it. I just need to listen.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to fix things, you can't fix things. When you need to fix things, you gotta
Yes.
fix things. But how am I supposed to, I'm not a mind reader. So there's a lot in it. So if it's too much, then maybe we need to focus on ourselves so we can have a better grip on our life.
Yes.
And so when we step into that, we are already that, person that we would like to be, that version. We step up to that best version we can
Yes.
really bring.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of us are coming from these past trauma hurt relationships into
Yes.
the other one, and we get
Mm-hmm.
in a situation where you just brought that on over here, and then you splash that on that person, and then you
Yes.
triggered that person to do
Yes.
something, and now they're acting out of character because of
Mm-hmm.
you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And first of all, we ain't need to get together. In the perfect theory world, we would be able to come together, but since we got stuck,
Yes.
we can't
Yes.
really be here. And it sounds nice to be in a relationship. Yeah, I want that. That's been like, you
Mm-hmm.
have to take some time, go to the movies by yourself.
Yeah.
It's cheaper. Stuff like that. Enjoy your life, enjoy yourself,
Mm-hmm.
love yourself. And then, whatever that person that comes, you could have a better relationship. In my mind, I feel like it'll just be a smoother, not to say you're going to have issues. It's just, it should be a more smoother, ride,
Right.
versus like, dang, you just dropped off a cliff. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, it's gonna be it's gonna be a roller coaster ride, but just understand that I choose that person. This is the person that's choosing me. We got this. We got this? Yes, we got it. We're gonna work through it, but we got this. And so I would say that in a relationship. I hope that's good.
No,
Was that good?
It's
okay.
good. It's good. There's no wrong answer. Okay, so what does good enough today look like for you in this season?
Good enough today. Good enough today in this season. Today is the day that I've been blessed with, if I can see, and everything that was in that day, it was already good. I just have to recognize that it is, and it's for me. That day is for me. It's for me, and so today I just want to live and walk in this and walk in that truth and know that this is the day for me. If I woke up that I have life, I have breath. This is all me, and unapologetically in all aspects, this is my day, and don't let anybody ruin your day. This is mine.
Now that's a perfect answer. I swear, like maybe we should switch roles. You should do the good enough today, and I should be the guest. So where can people find you? Where can they connect? What can they do for Man and Me? How do they buy your book?
Absolutely. Definitely go to manandme.org. You can check out. There's definitely some spaces in there where you can donate, contribute, partner, volunteer. As well, you can also check out some of the films. We actually got both our films actually on YouTube. So I released them on. Usually I'm like, you see, I hadn't monetized though. They're monetized, but I was like, look, I feel like this needs to go in and go public. So I have both Fathers Wanted and the Man and Me documentary available on YouTube. You can go to YouTube as well, and that's free, obviously. And then my book, I Love Anger. You can definitely go to iloveanger.com, and also Amazon. Also have the book for teens as well. You can also get that. So you can just search I Love Anger, Isaac Rowe, and it'll kind of pop up.
Awesome. Can you spell Rowe for everybody?
ROWE.
Okay, because sometimes it can be a little bit difficult. Us
sure,
non-spellers, we might get it wrong.
For sure.
Okay, so first I want to thank you for being here. This has been an amazing conversation.
Okay.
I want people to understand that there's a community of people when we strip off all of our titles and just come to the person that we are, that we are all going through the same types of struggles. It just looks differently for your life and for mine. But the fear, the insecurities, the anger, the joy, the depletion, right? We all have it, and just kind of talking and having that conversation and being open to have that conversation so that people can learn and grow from you and your experience. I appreciate that. And please, everyone, like and subscribe to Good Enough Today. You can find us on YouTube and wherever you listen to podcasts. And please, please, please help out Man and Me. Go ahead and give them everything. And whoever wants to give Isaac his $10,000, I'm going to put a plug in there for that. But remember, everybody, that whatever you're going through, there's a community for you. Please DM me. Tell me your stories. I want to have you on the show if you want to be on. So just come on and understand that there's no problem that somebody else isn't going through, and there's a community for that. And we're going to stay hopeful for tomorrow and understand we're good enough today.
For tomorrow, good enough today.